At my big age of almost 20 years old, I'm just now learning about how babies are actually conceived. I know what y'all are thinking by looking at this title. This freaky ass bitch. No. Okay, hear me out. So it's crazy because my initial video idea for this week was to talk about going to college in a pandemic. You know, and I might still do that video. I've actually had a lot of video ideas. I've been brainstorming, and I'm also trying to switch up the schedule I post because I think my videos are not being watched as much because I usually the last two, I put them both out on Tuesdays. And I know that's just a weird day to put it out. So I'm probably going to try to do them like towards the end of the week. Ideally Friday. I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on. But anyway, this video wasn't even an idea I had until my love and sex class. Y'all gonna hear about this love and sex class until this love and sex class is over, because that class is just so insightful about so much. And so this week we were talking about, you know, sex. And so basically, you know what? I don't even want to get to the meat yet. I feel like I need to get to the intro first. So in this video, I'm just going to be talking about unrealistic standards with sex, double standards with sex, how men are being prioritized by women, and just basically the heterosexual experience, because same-sex couples don't have nearly as many issues when it comes to pleasing their partner or having sex with their partner as straight couples do. We're gonna get to all of that. So this one's gonna be a good one. So without further ado, let's get into it. So literally, this idea popped in my head yesterday. Well, it didn't even pop in. I went to the class yesterday morning at 11, right? And when she started talking about it, I was like, a light bulb went off. I was like, I need to talk about this, because it's just like she was saying stuff that I've always known, that I feel like I've maybe talked about with my close friends, but never on a wide scale, because I don't know if I just didn't think that it was an issue that all women went through, or I just was like, maybe I'm just fucking the wrong people, you know? So basically in the class, we were talking about how schools don't give proper sex education. Really, the only reason schools talk about sex is because they have to, and they don't even talk about the pleasing aspect of it. They talk about it like, oh, it's just to make babies. And especially to women. Like men, I've heard that some schools teach men how to, like, well, not just men, but some schools teach people how to put on condoms, but clearly, who's going in the condom? So they taught people how to put on condoms, but I never received proper sex education. Let's start with that. I think I was in 8th grade and it was a PE class. That was the first problem. It was like PE/health. And so all we did was talk about the parts of the woman and the man. We didn't talk about whose parts went where. We didn't talk about pleasing. And of course, I don't even think the clit was on the clitoris. I don't think it was even on the diagram. I don't remember anything. And I remember him purposely trying to speed past this topic, because it was like the end of the school year and he was just like, just label everything. It's easy, yada, yada, yada. And then we can go outside and play. He didn't give a fuck about teaching us about sex. Now, mind you, I'm in 8th grade. 8th grade, you're like 12. We already knew about fucking. I found out about sex in 2nd grade, and that was from kids in school. So, of course, we already kind of knew. I just feel like schools don't educate us properly when it comes to sex. A lot of schools just use scare tactics, like, oh, don't have sex or you're gonna get pregnant. Don't have sex or you're gonna get a girl pregnant. That's literally it. But sex is a part of the human experience. I just don't get it. Sex is not just for babies, y'all. If that were the case, we would not have a clitoris. Still, to this day, science cannot explain why we have a clitoris other than to please us. That's it. So obviously, sex is meant to be enjoyable as well as, you know, having babies or whatever. Did you know that in the United States, only 13 states, 13 out of the 50, I don't know how many states we got, only 13 states are required to have a sex education program that's accurate. 13. 1-3. And I don't even know Georgia's one of them. Not that only people in Georgia are watching, but that's where I'm from. So I don't even know which states they are, but only 13 require it to be accurate. Hi, I'm also gonna pop in later in the video, but I was actually doing research on this, and it's insane because literally every website says something differently. Mind you, these are funded.org educational websites that are all giving different numbers, but at the end of the day, it is confirmed that not all 50 states require medically accurate sex education programs, whether it's 13 22. I don't know the numbers anymore, but yeah, you guys can also do your own research on that if you are interested. Yep. So these fucking schools can be telling us whatever they want about sex, and it doesn't matter if it's accurate or not. And of course, it's schools, so we're just gonna believe that they know what they're talking about. Just like I found out in this love and sex class that we've been lied to about how babies are conceived. You know what? Oh my god, I'm so excited for this video. It's 5 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to the good part. Let's talk about how babies are conceived, and then we'll get into the rest. We have always been taught that the sperm swims to the egg. But let's start with this. Sperms, they cannot swim forward. They have tails, yes, but their tail will spin them around in circles. If you put a sperm in a dish by itself, it will literally spin in circles because the tail cannot propel the sperm forward. The sperm does not swim to the egg. You want to know how the sperm gets to the egg? We have mucus. And it's not vaginal mucus. Is it pelvic mucus? I don't remember exactly. I'm a biology major. I should know this shit, right? We have mucus. Women create mucus. That mucus carries the sperm to the egg. The sperm has never swam to the egg. However, they flip this narrative because they have to make it seem like the man is in control. So the mucus carries the sperm to the egg. Once the sperm arrives to the egg, right? I don't know what everyone else is told. I feel like a lot of people in school, they skip the part. They just be like, the sperm and the egg, baby. Like, they don't tell us exactly how it happens. And some people who do get told, they get told, oh yeah, the sperm has to penetrate the egg. No, it does not. The egg has proteins. The sperm has protein receptors. Basically, we're gonna describe it as a puzzle. The sperm is the receptor, right? So the egg has to basically connect into, like, I don't know how to describe this. Oh, I wish I had a puzzle. I'm gonna put a picture or something. So you know a puzzle piece. It has like the little holes for the right puzzle to fit in there. The egg is the puzzle piece with the pieces that stick out. Look. Oh my god, just know that the egg has to connect to the sperm. The sperm just has the receptors. The sperm does not swim to the egg. The sperm does not penetrate the egg. To be honest, the sperm is just there and the female body does most of the work. However, we have been told the majority of our lives something completely different. A lot of people don't even know this. I promise you, literally like 80% of y'all are not gonna know this. Y'all are gonna be like, damn, Age, you just taught me something. Yeah. At my big age of almost 20 years old, I'm just now learning about how babies are actually conceived. And there's people with children, there's grown adults that probably don't even know this. And that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Why is sex such a taboo topic to talk about, you know? Avoiding the conversation about sex is what leads to ignorance. It's what leads to questions. It's what ultimately leads to people being unsafe and not having sex correctly. I don't know if that made sense, but when you don't know about something, when you're not properly taught about something, how are you going to do it right? Who is going to tell you how to have sex? What's the proper way to do it? And that's how we got onto porn. So a lot of people, a lot of men are learning how to have sex through porn. Mind you, I don't know if people still don't understand this at our big age. Porn is not real. Porn is literally actors and actresses. And honestly, most of the time they probably aren't even enjoying what they're doing. Everything is done. It's romanticized. It's, what's the word? Dramatized. It's meant for entertainment purposes. It's not a how-to guide. It's not to be like, oh, this is what you do to make her scream. No. But a lot of men don't realize that. A lot of men try to do what they see in porn, and look at us. I was gonna pull up all the statistics, guys. I was, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I really just don't feel like it. I don't feel like pulling it up, so I'm going to approximate a lot of the things that I say. I'm not gonna have exact numbers. You can go look them up on your own if you want to, but this is what I was learning in class the other day. When it comes to sex, good sex and bad sex, women and men, straight women and men, define them differently. Women, hear me, they don't define bad sex by their pleasure. Women define bad sex as not having consent, pain. It was one other thing she might have said, but if she's not in pain and if she got his consent, and if she makes him come, if he ejaculates, it's good sex to her. I would just like to add that I got this information based off of the TED Talk that I am going to link below. I know that a lot of us personally do not identify with what I just said. I don't want y'all to think that I'm just pulling stuff out of my ass. This is based on a survey that used the sample size of women of certain ages throughout the entire United States, not just, me. So
Yeah, back to the video. Thanks.
However, men define good sex through their pleasure. Men define good sex off of if they nut or not. I just want you to weigh those two, because us women, we have been taught that our pleasure comes second. We have never been taught that during sex, we are also supposed to be pleasured. So it's become normal for women to not orgasm during sex. It's become normal for women to have sex and not expect to orgasm, but be okay with that. I don't mind being open about my sex life because we're fucking grown. I have probably orgasmed from a man. I can count on one hand how many times I've orgasmed from a man. And out of those times, how many of it was from sex? Like not head or fingering? Once. And I honestly don't even think that counts, because once again, it wasn't during the sex part. It was like, so I've literally, a man has never made me orgasm from sex, and they never find a problem with it. Now, granted, I definitely not made the best choices with the men I've decided to deal with, not just sexually, but on every level. We know this from my past videos. The men that I've dealt with, that I've had sex with, they weren't really concerned with making me orgasm. I guess that they somewhat cared about my pleasure. A lot of the times it doesn't feel good, or it's just like but I feel like our generation is getting better with being honest and open, especially the women. We're getting better with being honest and open about what we want with sex, but it's still not where it should be. Like I said, why have I never orgasmed from having sex? But I promise you they have, and that's my problem. Men will literally orgasm from sex, clean themselves up, and go to sleep. They do not care about the women's pleasure, but I can't fully blame them, because society has taught them that our pleasure doesn't matter. It's all about them. Not only has pornography twisted people's versions of what sex is supposed to be, but it's also made women extremely self-conscious about their bodies, and we feel like we have to change our bodies in order to be acceptable, in order to be attractive enough to have sex with. When it comes to pubic hair, body hair, all of that, especially pubic hair though, it was not normal to get rid of your pubic hair. It wasn't normal. Women never waxed, shaved. I want to say before, when was porn? I want to say before the 80s, 90s or 80s. It was not normal for women to try to get rid of all of their pubic hair. However, now in 2022, over 50% of women get their body hair removed in order to have sex. At least 50% of women get their body hair removed on a regular. I'm not going to lie to you, I am one of those women. It sucks. I know I'm just giving into what society wants, but at the same time, it's just like we've been programmed to think body hair is disgusting. And this is where the double standards come in, because men don't shave, men don't wax. Every once in a while they do. The percent of them that actually get rid of their body hair, that manscape, is very, very slim. And women, we don't care. We do not care if our man has a bush down there, but let us have a bush. Let us have the hair that was meant to naturally grow from our vagina. Men will lose their mind. I have come across a lot of mature men that said that they don't care about body hair. However, most of them do. And when they say they don't care, they mean they can deal with a little, but like a bush like theirs, no, they wouldn't deal with it. And it's all because of porn. Porn started normalizing having hairless, baby-like skin down there, even though that's not how our skin is supposed to be. Let me tell you, coming from a woman, removing your hair, your pubic area hair, is a lot, especially as a Black woman, because our hair is so coarse down there. We have a lot of issues when we remove it, and you know what happens? We get hair bumps, we get stuff like that. And once again, going back to porn, when you see a vagina in porn, it is baby smooth, it has no scarring, no hair bumps, none of that. So that's another reason we're like, damn, my vagina, like, it looks bad, yada, yada, yada. We get self-conscious because the vaginas that we see, the vaginas that are put out there, are not real. They're not real. They're literally, it's like putting on makeup for a movie. Like, all of it is fake, but somehow it still doesn't translate in our heads. So we see all these vaginas, and now society has made the standard of what the perfect vagina looks like. Why does what my vagina look like? Why does it matter? Why does it matter what it looks like? Because the only person that should be looking at it is me and my intimate partners. So why does society have a standard on what the vagina should look like? Why is it not the same for men? Why are men's genitals allowed to look like whatever? They can have the weirdest shaped penis, the most hairy balls. It doesn't matter. But for women, we're put, once again, the standards for our bodies are so high, but men's are non-existent. And it's insane to me. So when it comes to sex, not only do our bodies have to look a certain way, but we have to make sure to please the man. Also, when it comes to sex, before porn, head, any other type of sex besides like dick and dick and vagina sex. Besides that, no other sex was really normal. So like head was looked at like anal is looked at now. Like it was just like, whoa, head. But now it's normalized. And in my love and sex class, when we were talking about it, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep saying love and sex. When we were talking about it, we watched this TED Talk. I cannot think of the woman's name to save my life. I will probably insert her name up here and maybe leave a link for the TED Talk because it's very interesting and insightful. But she was talking about how a lot of women, because she did a survey of women in college, like women from the age of 15 to 20, I believe, and a lot of the women said that they don't think head is a big deal. So a lot of times, if they don't want to have sex and they don't want to be raped, they will give the man a blowjob simply so he can not rape her. Do you hear how fucking insane that shit is? That is insane to me. That's insane to me. And when it comes to blowjobs, let's get into the fucking nitty gritty. This might be a long video. I don't even care. So there's good head and bad head, of course. Men have all these standards. Men want a girl to suck, swallow, yada, yada, yada. But there are still so many men out here that refuse to eat cat. It is insane to me. And you know what? I'm gonna speak on a personal experience. I'm gonna try to be as discreet as possible because I like to keep my business on the down low. My most recent partner, he, first of all, once again, never made me come. Not once close, and he didn't give a fuck, first of all. Second of all, when it came to head, it was just like, he never said no about it, but the only time he would eat me out is if it was A, and like 69ing, or B, I would just have to sit on his face. And I made it clear before that I'm just not comfortable. Y'all, this is so open now. I'm kind of getting shy. Ugh. I made it clear that I was not comfortable like sitting on faces. Just know, I just be paranoid, okay? So sitting on a face, it'd be scary. But that was the only time he would eat me out ever. Every time we had sex, he expected me to give him head. So it's just crazy to me that I was expected to do that every time, but he just did not feel like he had to. Let's talk about foreplay. Let's talk about leading up to sex. Men don't believe in foreplay. However, they want women to have the wettest, softest, warmest. Babe, you can't even turn me on. I'm not gonna speak on all my personal experiences because I don't want it to seem like I'm shitting on the people that I had sex with, especially because, you know, they may or may not see this, they may or may not hear about it. I don't want it to seem like I'm shitting on them at all. However, it's just like, it's very eye-opening. I don't blame them because once again, it's society's fault. It's society's fault, it's school's fault. Nobody educates men. Nobody makes men feel like, oh, the woman's pleasure matters just as much as yours. Don't get me wrong, I definitely know that there's men out there that do care about pleasing their woman. Hopefully I get him sometime. This video is so chaotic, but my last, because it's important, my last point here, sexual assault. I wanted to leave this for last because A, I need to put a trigger warning, and B, this part is serious. So as most of you know, I was raped a little over a year ago. It's not hard for me to talk about. I'm very open to talking about it. However, I know it makes other people uncomfortable sometimes. But yes, I was raped, and to this day, I don't know if the boy understands what he did or understands like how fucked up it was, because it's so sad. And once again, I don't have the exact numbers. A lot of women are sexually assaulted. And it's sad that this is normal. When I put my video out about my sexual assault, I had so many girls reach out to me and say that they could relate. And in one breath, it made me, I don't want to say happy, but I felt good knowing that they were comfortable to come to me and be like, hey, Asia, thank you for making this video. I understand because I went through the same thing. I'm happy that it made some women feel less alone. However, this should not be something that people could relate to. I should not have had as many people as I did reach out to me and say that they could relate to it. It's not okay. It's not normal. And it's something that needs to be talked about. A lot of people do not understand that rape, sexual assault there's not just one definition. There's not just one definition, and there's not just one situation that is defined as rape or sexual assault. Like I said in that video, sexual assault can happen to anyone, by anyone. You can get raped or sexually assaulted by your husband, by your boyfriend, by your girlfriend, by anybody. And a lot of times, most of the times, it is people that you're comfortable with, that you know, that you trusted. But a lot of people don't know that because it's not talked about. Coercion, forcing somebody to have sex with you, trying to convince them to have sex with you is sexual assault. Because if I said no, I meant no. And I did not realize this until I got older. And so I think a lot of sexual situations that I was in as a teenager, I definitely feel like I was coerced into. And once again, that has become normal. Not just become, it's been normalized, and it's not until now being talked about and saying, hey, this is not okay. But for a very, very, very long time, women having to be coerced into sex was kind of seen as the chase for a man, as, oh, like she's playing hard to get. No, I'm saying no, so respect that. Women should not have to feel like they have to give a man a blowjob for him to not rape her. So all of this boils down to men having this sense of entitlement when it comes to sex. They feel entitled to a nut. They feel entitled for a woman to please them, but they have absolutely no interest in pleasing her. I know this video was absolutely fucking everywhere. It was everywhere. It was chaotic, but it's something that I really felt like needed to be talked about. And I don't want to say I'm passionate about it, but I just feel like it's definitely an issue. And I want people to think about this. This is another long video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you watched to the end. Please leave a comment. Let me know how y'all feel about this. Let me know about your sexual experiences, or if you feel like this is accurate for you personally, because I know there's a lot of women that might have came every time they had sex. I cannot speak for every woman. You know, you can give me your opinions or whatever in the comments if you would like. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I get this video scheduled together. Like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I will see you very soon. Bye.